but we don't work together. I said to you that my cross-examination on behalf of accused number 1 is very structured. We are not yet at a stage where the DPP is supposed to do, or what is it that the DPP is supposed to do. We are still at the stage where you yourself, not really yourself, but from the side of the investigating team, are approaching the office of the DPP with certain information. Now my question is, are you then satisfied that what is contained in this affidavit, that which you have read into record, insofar as it implicates this accused person, are you satisfied with it as it is contained in this affidavit, which you submitted to the office of the DPP?
My Lord, the first part, as I said, even before the DPP, and that is why I refer to the procedural-driven investigation, that the presence of the DPP or the prosecution does not come into existence only when we present the memorandum. They were there. That is why I indicated to the meeting of the 26th of January 2019. And I said the case was discussed, instructions were given. So it was a flow of communication leading to this. So there was no gap where we now break, we do things in isolation, and then we come at a certain stage to say, do this. It was guided. We were communicating. So directive will be given to say, this stage, then you can move in this way. That's how procedural-driven investigation works. That's the first part, my Lord. And secondly, my Lord, insofar as the list of the evidence or statements, be it confessions on each and every accused that is mentioned, I do recall that it tallies with the docket, my Lord, and I do recall that it would have also been mentioned in the memorandum.
Thank you, Brigadier. Let us try to cut it very short. Yourself, with the assistance of members of the office of the DPP, who have been assisting you all along up until this date where you had to prepare this memorandum, were you then happy as a team, DPP and the SAPS, were you happy that the information that is contained in this affidavit was what has been happening in terms of the investigation all along? I'm sorry, just before you answer, let me not use the word happy. I wanted to say satisfied.
Ngabe kade wenelisekile malana nenkulumo yenu yonkana futhi nenkulumo ibhalile ngaphansi kohlelo lwakho lwe-affidavit kade ulifunda ngaphambi kwenkantolo?
No, my Lord, this affidavit is not a summary statement of the entire investigation. It is specifics. That's why I said I refer to it because I'm being directed specifically to the accused before court. So, but now if the question is saying, were we satisfied, myself and the NPA, about the entire investigation in relation to this statement, this statement is not a summary statement. It deals with the evidence that was available at the time against these accused that are before court, and that's the essence of it, and subsequently the application for the warrant of arrest of these accused. It is a different situation where now, because now I'm understanding the question to be asking me about the summary of investigation, which will be much more detailed now. If I must be asked the summary of the investigation, then it's much broader than what is contained in this statement, my Lord.
Thank you, Brigadier. I think I've made my point. Those who have ears to hear have heard what I was trying to say. I'm alerted to the fact that it's almost 5 minutes past 1. On behalf of the gentlemen that are alerting me, that is almost 5 minutes past 1. They're saying that I should request the court for a lunch adjournment. And that's the request that I'm making, my Lord. When we come back at 2, we'll proceed. Thank you.
And that is exactly it. Olendlebe uzwile. That is the direct translation I think Mnisi was speaking from. Those who have ears have heard what I'm trying to say. And on that note, let's go for lunch. And the reason he did that, I'm glad that there was a lunch break that was inserted right there, because we already know Kininda was going to go on and on and on and on. Kininda's like a vicious circle. Like there's no finding an outlet. There's no going out. Kininda wants you to agree with him. And he wants you to ask the question the way he wants to hear it. He doesn't want you to ask the questions, which is why you find them butting heads when it comes to, I'm not done, I am not done. Ooh. All I want are the facts, the facts, the facts. Guys, this is just from one day, from the start of the morning. And don't forget, they start at 10. In Judge Ndim's courtroom, they start at 8. Okay? Judge Ndim starts early. And don't think they leave early. But in here, in Judge Retta's court, this is from 10 a.m. all the way until lunchtime, which is 1 o'clock. And I already have so many videos just out of that session, which is overwhelming. But we do see my Lord has gone back into his shell. He's decided, I'm also going to close my eyes. I don't want to look at anybody because I'm just going to get enraged again. And I'm just going to hold my mouth because that helps me keep calm. And I think that's what my therapist has taught me to do, that, I need to stay calm and I need to stay focused. And in order for me not to just erupt randomly, I should just hold my mouth, because that behavior was not there pre reading of 60,000 pages. We didn't see my Lord holding his mouth. He used to do a lot of tapping. So that's just my opinion based on this new behavior. And it's new behavior because it was never there. It was never there. Am I wrong? Am I wrong to say this? Let me know if you guys see that. Because you do see he's trying, but then, it's very hard to kill an old habit, especially if it's got 50 years experience. That takes a lot. So you got to work on it, and you got to be patient, and you got to understand that sometimes you'll make mistakes. I don't know how long this quiet phase is going to last. Maybe a few minutes, maybe a few hours, or maybe a few days. But we'll find out in the next video, right? So with that said, thank you so much for watching. You already know the house rules. Like, comment, subscribe, and done. Yes, please. Let's get this video to 2,000 likes. I know. Might be a bit ambitious, but they say if you don't ask, you won't get it. Bye.